Hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! For almost 20 years now, actually 19 and a half. It has been one of the best decisions that I ever made. And today I want to share with you a really simple card. It's using the Penguin Place bundle. Comes with both the stamp set and the coordinating punch, or you can buy the parts separately, but you get a 10% discount if you buy them together. It's Sale-a-Bration, and so we're using some Sale-a-Bration paper. You can find this paper in our Sale-a-Bration brochure on page 4. You end up with 12 sheets, 2 each of 6 double-sided designs. And this is the printed side. Some cute prints, a lot of cute little images that you could fussy cut, and then the other sides are patterns. So they're very usable, and as you can tell, they all coordinate. And so all of those parts and pieces, great thing. You can get this item, the Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper. You can get that with a $50 order before shipping and tax during the months of August and September during our Sale-a-Bration, and that's while supplies last. It is something that could sell out. And the Penguin Place bundle happens to also be one of the bundles that you can get for free if you decide to sign up to be a demonstrator. You can do that either to be a demonstrator who is sales focused or just as what we refer to as hobbyist demos. Starter kit is $99, and then you end up with one of these bundles that are listed on this back page for free, in addition to the other items, $125 value plus whatever you choose here. Great opportunity. I'd love to talk to you. If you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be yours. I want to point out that this Penguin Place bundle can be found here on page 33. And these items are meant to coordinate together. I'm also using the second to the largest die from the Hippo and Friends dies. These shapes are just the most fun shapes, and it's got cute little stitching around it. So let me share with you all the things you might need. Again, this is going to go together fast. And I like fast cards. So I'm using a half a sheet, 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4 of gray granite cardstock. And all these measurements, and I'll have on my blog, justalittle.ink.com. You need a 1/4 sheet of basic white cardstock for on the inside. You need a scrap piece so that you can cut that die piece out. You need a piece of this beautiful Designer Series paper, and I'm going to show you how fun this, because this coordinates with that punch. You need a 2-inch by 5.5 piece of whatever size print paper you would like from this paper stack, and then I'm using a 1/2 inch, just piece that I cut off when I'm doing layers, by 3 inches of our Mary Merlot cardstock, because I thought these colors coordinated really well together. And so let's get our stamping out of the way. There isn't a lot of stamping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my antlers. So the antlers are from the Penguin Place stamp set. I'm going to ink it up in some early espresso ink. And I want to place these toward the top. I found this worked just really the best. So I've got my antlers stamped. And then I also used the light version. They're only sold in pairs, but of the Seafoam Green, the soft Seafoam. I'm using the light, and I want to just give it a little place for my penguin to sit. I don't like my animals to kind of float in the air. So that part I'm going to stamp. I'm also going to stamp on my penguin the little bow tie, because I can stamp directly on this paper. So I'm going to pull out my Mary Merlot ink, and I'm going to ink it up and stamp my cute little bow tie right on my penguin. So then he is good to go. And then for my inside, I chose something really simple. I'm going to be putting on the front "To the Coolest Friend Ever." And so on the inside, I'm simply going to stamp the image or the greeting that says, "Be cool, be chill, be merry." I'm going to keep it pretty simple. You could stamp then some trees. There's some other items that you could certainly choose. Put some snowflakes, but I'm going to keep it really simple. So that's it for my Mary Merlot. So I can set this piece to the side. I've stamped this so I can set him to the side. I need to then stamp my greeting, again, my "To the Coolest Friend Ever." And I'm going to use our Whisper White craft ink. Craft ink takes a little longer to dry. And so because of that, actually, one more thing before I even do that. I'm pulling out my banner's pick-a-punch because I want a banner on one end of this, and it slides into this groove. I'm going to do 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or 1 inch. I like to turn it over and look at on this other side to make sure I'm centered. Okay, so now that I've got that stamped, I can ink up our basic white. We've got basic white paper. Our Whisper White craft ink takes longer to dry. It's a pigment-based ink, so it takes a little longer. So you want to think ahead just a little bit. You could also use your heat tool to dry it a little sooner, but I'm going to just stamp it and then set it aside, my piece of paper. Let it dry. I'm going to fold over my 1/2 sheet. Remember, I've already scored this. Fold it along my score line, and then I'm going to take a piece of just scratch paper, line this up, get all my parts and pieces out of the way. I'm going to stamp my snowflakes on just a random on the top and on the bottom, because I want this to have a little interest, and I liked how they kind of stood out from everything else that I was doing. You don't need a lot, and I'm not concerned about the middle because I'm going to cover it up with cardstock anyway. So I'm going to come up, or cardstock with designer series paper. So I just want to randomly stamp my snowflakes, kind of just twisting and turning as I go. And I will clean those stamps later and get rid of my Whisper White. Pull that out. Okay, so I'm going to let it set there for just a minute. This piece is going to go on top. I'm going to pull out my penguin punch, and my penguin punch is a builder punch. This part is meant to go on the inside. That would give him his white little tuxedo look for the penguin, and these are for his feet. But this particular penguin is only the shape, so I'm going to turn him upside down. And I always like to give myself a little bit of a finger. If I didn't have an extra piece of paper there, I would take one of these little skinny Post-it note flags. They work real well for extra fingers when you're punching things. So I'm going to hold on. I'm going to line him up on the inside. Just enough of this, I believe, to give me enough finger to line him up. Come in. I've spent the last couple days attending an online Stampin' Up! Conference, and I've got lots of ideas floating in my head and anxious to share with you. So I'm going to punch him out. Look how cute this is. Punches him just like that. Now, if you didn't want to punch out the shapes that coordinate, you could fussy cut. And you wouldn't, of course, have stamped antlers, but you could have fussy cut, and see how cute those will sit on top? There are a lot of images that you can also do that. But then all I did is I took my little penguin, I put some of our multi-purpose liquid glue on the back. Something you definitely want to keep in your stamp zone. Okay, I'm going to turn him over. And then it's just a matter of lining him up underneath his antlers. And this is why I thought it was so helpful to just do those antlers first. Then I've sat him down on top of what I call grounding, like so. And I stamped earlier. Helpful to do it earlier. I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive on the back side of this end of the tab. And I want to put this up, about like so. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back side. Turn around. So my Stampin' dimensionals, I want just a few. So I need, whoop, flip them over in front of you. So, and then I want a couple of them on this banner. It'll kind of help keep things from going crazy on me. Okay, so see how fast all of this is going to go. I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. I'm using our Stampin' Seal. Love Stampin' Seal. Okay, so make sure my trees are lined up. I think I've got this stamped and dried just enough. So you see I didn't need it to go in the center because I'm covering it up. There we go. Take my dimensional backers off. If you struggle getting those off, you can always use scissors or take your pick tool. So I'm going to line up so that my tag is straight. Then I don't want to push this down just yet. I want to make sure it's lined up so that this image is straight, like so. You could add some rhinestones and bling it up even more. And then I'm going to simply put my inside greeting on the inside. And like that, lickety split, I have a fast Christmas card with this paper. It is just so well coordinated. So many of the items are well coordinated between our July to December mini catalog and our, I smeared that just a little bit, and our August to September Sale-a-Bration. If you don't have a demonstrator, again, I would love to be your demonstrator. You may place an order anytime on my Stampin' Up! Website, justalittleink.stampinup.net. And if you're ordering anything underneath $150 before shipping and tax, I'd prefer you use my host code. I give Stampin' rewards above and beyond what Stampin' Up! Does for loyal customers for every $50 before shipping and tax that you spend through me. And when you accumulate 10 or more, then I will give you a shopping reward through me. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your week. Thank you.